Hello and welcome into Talking Bengals. We are the world's realest podcast because keeping it real and with us, keeping it real typically goes wrong, and we'll get off the rails real quick. MARS, Mars, Red Rocks. We're already off the rails. Here we go. We got Bernsey and Josh with us tonight. So how we doing, guys?
Great. Can't wait for the draft.
Is Skittles still made by Mars?
Maybe. I don't know. If you don't get that reference, you're probably too young to be watching our show. But where the keeping it real goes wrong is from Chappelle's show, so is Red Rocks. You don't know it? We don't do politics, but Dave Chappelle may be the best version of current politicians of anyone I've ever seen. Anyway, I digress. Back into stuff that we actually want to care about on a football podcast. Tonight we're going to be dreaming, continuing dreaming, and then having nightmares about what the draft could possibly be ahead of our big mock draft episode next week, where we only do one a year. Unlike all those other, shows that give you months worth of mock draft, you only get one chance to see the official Talking Bengals mock draft, and that'll be next week.
So one opportunity.
One shot.
Seize whatever you want.
Just got to lose yourself in the moment. You own it.
Yeah. No mom's spaghetti tonight, though. It was only sandwiches here. Okay. We had ball practice, so I'm going to kick us off with the dream. It's kind of interesting that it would happen, as it typically always does. There's usually one top tier player that finds themselves in the midst of a little bit of controversy, and their draft stock takes a little bit of a plummet. So there's a big possibility that Ruben Bain could be there at 10. The latest news, other than his little short arms that apparently will affect his gameplay. Excuse me, I got a cough. He also was involved in an accident in 2024 that took the life of another individual.
Skittles messing with you.
I know. Nick must have passed off his malaria to Bernsey because he's out tonight with malaria. So,
oh, sorry. Yeah, Skittles, malaria. It was like a weird dynamic science kind of thing there.
Same.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, he was involved in a car accident in 2024, and the other individual died. Now, the family of the other individual has come out and said that they didn't want the press. They didn't want the story. They're not out for clout. They're not pressing charges by any means, and they wish Ruben Bain all the best. So it's a very unfortunate incident to happen. Casey and I have both lost friends in our time in service. It's not an easy thing to go through by any means. So I think everybody just wants to move on for it. I think it's really unfortunate and some bad publicity one of these teams have put out there to try to maybe get him to fall past 10 and later in the draft and get a steal in the first round. So that's my hope and dream that Ruben Bain is there. So, Josh, I think you have a player that you're dreaming about.
Yeah. Ruben Bain's a possibility to be there at 10. Mine, not very likely. Caleb Downs. I really don't see him getting to 10. If he gets to 9, Kansas City's going to pick him up. I mean, they have basically nobody left as safety. Nobody that's good. So, I mean, they could very well get him. But, I mean, if he does somehow slip past them and Kansas City goes for somebody on offense because they still need that, it would be an awesome pickup. I mean, he could be the best player in the draft, best all-around football player. So, I mean, getting him at 10, even though they did pick up safety, that doesn't mean he has to start immediately. They got guys as contingencies, as backups, as people that can help this rookie come into the league and figure out what he's doing. And they didn't get anybody bad. They got some solid safeties, hopefully, on paper.
Yeah.
They always they come to Cincinnati.
That safety, did happen to come from a place called Kansas City. So allow Brian Cook. So welcome home.
He went to UC. Put some respect on his name.
Sorry, Brian Cook. I apologize. I threw up in my mouth a little bit hearing those two letters together.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, Kobe Bryant went to UC also, and he's one of the highest paid safeties now.
That is also true. But what have they done?
Nothing since that season. Nothing.
This is not talking college football. This is talking Bengals. So we'll get back into all right. So I'll move into my dream pick, which I would put almost 0% chance of it happening, but I'm going to go with Sonny Styles. He is a generational talent at linebacker, and I'm beginning to think that is really the Bengals' plan all along. Is we're going to get this Sonny Styles kid because our linebackers are hot garbage. We're going to endorse him and make him feel good in case it doesn't happen. But when it happens, we're totally just going to throw them under the bus. Like, yeah, these guys are terrible. We're bringing in a guy who can actually play football. It's going to be great. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping he's fast, he's tall, he's lean for a linebacker, only 240, but he can play instinctually. He can play in coverage with neither Barrett Carter or Demetrius Knight Jr. knows how to do. And it's a deep-ish linebacker class, but there's definitely a cliff. You have elite talent, and then you have, well, he may be good in 2 to 3 seasons. We don't have 2 to 3 seasons. We need a good linebacker now. So I'm hoping that Sonny Styles is still there, but I'm not going to do all dreams and then a nightmare and not be able to redeem it. So I'm going to flip right into the nightmare scenario, Zach. That way you can bring everybody's spirits back up with your wild card. So this is my complete draft nightmare. It might go into it again next week before we actually close out with our draft thoughts. But Sonny Styles is there. Reuben Bain Jr. is there. Caleb Downs is there. All three of them somehow are available at pick number 10. And who do the Bengals end up going with? Peter Woods from Clemson, because they need defensive interior. Is he really an elite talent? No. Are there a lot of flaws in his game? Yeah. If this was a year like last season or the season before, when you had a much deeper defensive line class, would he even be in first-round conversation? I don't think he would. He's fallen. Well, maybe actually he might have been because he was better earlier in his career than he has been lately. So maybe he would have still been, but the person he is this year, would he have been talked about in years previous? I don't think so. I think he'd have been looking at a day 2 pick. And that sounds like the most Bengal thing to do. He's a physical freak. He's big, long arms, all those things people like. That's what the Bengals want. I don't want him.
Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, I don't want him. This would be basically the John Ross pick all over again, where I literally threw something across my living room. Like, are you kidding me? We don't need this guy. I don't remember what players were available to pick John Ross, but I know there was 2 or 3 players, and I was like, yes, we're going to get one of the people. Why did we draft a fast wide receiver? And that's all he was a fast wide receiver. Couldn't do anything else with the 9th pick. But anyway, that is the nightmare. Do you all agree that is like 100% nightmare right there if that happens?
I would agree.
Yeah. So, all right. Zach, bring the spirits back up.
All right. So we're going back to Dreamland. Again, another guy that's probably not going to be there, but very well could. But there are like 3 or 4 teams that are in dire need of a new running back. And there's a guy who went to Notre Dame by the name of Jeremiah Love, who had a pretty good visit in Cincinnati from what I'm told. So we spent one of 30 visits for outside of our internal market that the NFL gives each team on Jeremiah Love. So it seems like the front office is somewhat interested. And I think it would be a good thunder to the lightning that is Chase Brown. We didn't have that last year. I think that was mentioned on a couple other shows for Bengals podcasts, maybe even the Growler podcast. Maybe I don't know. I know I've heard it once or twice. So who knows? Maybe we'll see. As a Notre Dame guy, I tend to think that having somebody like Jeremiah Love would be beneficial at Cincinnati. It's better than them going to, I don't know, Pittsburgh or Cleveland.
Yeah.
Those places.
No,
Donnie
I agree.
Stanley.
I don't know. See, the draft, I'm excited and I'm always worried because very often the Bengals have disappointed. They've not always made us happy with who they pick. Look at last year's draft. Sometimes it ends up working out. I was not an Amarius Mims fan. That seems to be working out for the most part. Let's see some other draft picks. I was like, I don't know about this guy. What's his name? Cornerback. Dax Hill. There we go. Dax Hill, I was like, I don't know, but it was in the first round, so you give him benefit of the doubt. You're basically a crapshoot at the end of the first round. But it's the high picks that make me the most nervous. When you're 1 through 5, they seem to do pretty well in the last recent history of Burrow, Chase. Yeah, those were good. When you get to 6 through 15, I'm like, I don't know if I can think of anybody that was really good that they drafted in that range. Like, I really don't.
One that I remember did not work out very well, and I'm pretty sure this is the one I was at in 2016. William Jackson III.
1 year wonder. He looked like he was going to be a great corner for 1 year.
Rookie year was great.
You always have to wonder, did he go to his head? Did he just start doing things he shouldn't have been doing? Because he had the talent. But we had how many first-round corners? And that's why people are like, the Bengals should draft first-round corner. I'm like, I've seen this story. Our best cornerbacks have come from rounds 2, 3, and 4.
Or other teams.
Yeah, or other teams, even better. But, yeah, let's see. We had Drake Kirkpatrick, Darquez Dennard. I think William Jackson III was on. They were all three together for at least one season. And then we had another first-round draft pick. Leon Hall, I don't want to make him a bad pick. He just got injured. He could have been all-pro caliber if he could have stayed healthy. He had great instincts, great length, could do it all, but the poor guy just couldn't stay healthy. But you had him on the team, and then you picked up Pac-Man. Like, he's an extra. He'll be our number 4. And he ended up being your best corner.
Yeah. Was JoJo was he a first-round pick before you went to Houston?
I thought he was a second-round pick. He might have been a first-round pick, first or second round. He played well. Him and Leon Hall were a good combination. But you know what? Shoot, let's just do it. Other dynamic duos. Who would be your favorite dynamic duo at cornerback for the Bengals in history?
Well, I'm giving Pro Football Reference the load about.
I have mine off the top of my head, so I'll go ahead and go with it. It is Deltha O'Neal and Torrey Smith.
Ooh, that's a good
That
pick.
was a lethal combination there. And Torrey Smith, people don't give him the credit that he should have gotten because Deltha O'Neal is just so good. So good. I think he still holds a couple Bengals records, if I remember right. Deltha O'Neal does. I'd have to double check that against my reference, but I think he does.
JoJo was the 24th pick in the first round of 2006.
So any cornerback duos you want to go with? Anybody?
I think Deltha O'Neal was good there. I'm kind of on the train of Dax and oh my gosh, I just mind blanked. I had a huge mind fart. I'm gonna go to sleep.
James. Sorry, I need to correct. I knew Smith wasn't right. Torrey James.
Oh, so see, I'm not the only one that's blanking on names.
It's a long off season, folks.
Yes, it is. That it is. I think the two that we have right now, I'm good with it. I think we're in a good spot on the outside. And if Caleb Downs happens to be one of the players that we decide to draft, I think that you can use his versatility, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to mention that earlier. So you could put him at Rebel. You could put him in the interior as a nickel or a dime. You drop him back in safety. I think he can be an all around just utility knife for that defense.
You know who none of us mentioned that the older fans are going to yell at us if we don't mention?
Go for it.
Lamar Parrish
Mm,
and the Rattler, Ken Riley.
that's true.
The fact that we didn't mention one who is a Hall of Famer and the other one who
One-
should be a Hall of Famer. Sorry, don't add us for that when we were not born yet. We do put a lot of respect on those two guys, though. So sorry.
We had a lot of painful years growing up.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley Ambrose was a bright spot. He was a corner.
That's true. But who did he have on the other side? Oh, wait.
God. Some guy named Sawyer. I remember that. I don't remember what his first name was, but last name was Sawyer. He might have been the slot corner. I don't remember. And nobody worth noting, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody worth noting. All right, off-season topic time. We've touched enough on happy things, sad things, and our memories going bad. So, what off-season stuff do we want to get into?
Sorry, I was just looking up the 2017 draft, the John Ross draft. It's not good. Don't look it up.
Oh, depress us. We got time. Depress us here.
Okay. You know who we could have gotten?
Patrick Mahomes.
hold on.
With that.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes went to pick after. Yeah. He was 10. Let's see. It was pick number 30, TJ Watt. He went that late, and he is let's see, Marlon Humphrey. Hassan Reddick he's been mostly very good. Let's see. Garrett Bowles has been solid. Jabril Peppers, he fell off a cliff, but he was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I mean, TJ Watt.
I mean, he went to Cleveland.
TJ Watt. Yeah.
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 They're not as sad as we thought, but
Even
still.
looking at the second round, picked John Ross, and then in the second round, Joe Mixon.
Hey, Joe Mixon worked out at least. We'll just say he was our pseudo first round pick.
Yeah. Oh, we could have picked Jonathan Allen. Well, we ended up with Jonathan Allen. We could have picked him. Though.
Hey, it all worked out. Okay.
Yeah.
Into off-season stuff here. Burnsy, you got to come up with something.
All right. Well, I'm going to go baseball because that's where we are in our life right now. The Redlegs pulling it out against the Giants. Although it really pains me seeing Amadeus hitting home runs against the Reds.
Yeah.
It's like his favorite team to hit home runs against, I feel like. I don't see highlights of him hitting home runs against any other team. Granted, he got paid bukus of money to leave Milwaukee to go to San Fran. But, yeah, kind of crazy. But I think the Reese Hines call-up is going to work out. You know, he didn't have a whole lot to show for it tonight, I don't think. I didn't look at his stat line before the show. But, yeah, I'm good with it. Let Marte go back down, which was a complete marketing strategy by the entire organization. Keep him up until his bobblehead night, send him back down.
I don't understand how he's so bad at baseball all of a sudden.
I don't know.
I mean, he had the longest hit streak for the team in a couple years, like 2 years ago? Like he ended the season on a hit streak. And then he made the great catch in right field in the home finale, and he looked like he was turning the corner as far as defense. And he does not hit a baseball anymore. He doesn't. I don't understand, and I know there's mixed feelings on Pete Rose on this show and with other people, but his philosophy to hitting was very basic. You don't change your swing. Your swing is what got you to the big leagues. You change where you stand. You change how aggressive you are. So all these people are like, oh, I totally rebuilt my swing. Well, why did you do that? It got you here for a reason. change your approach. That's a different game than changing your swing. Too many guys change their swings or try to add new things. Hitting a baseball is hitting a baseball. Either you know how to hit the baseball or you don't know how to hit the baseball. Like,
Well,
don't change how you do it.
look at Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn went on, I think he was on Jim Day or Sean Casey's show. I think it was Sean Casey's show now that I'm thinking about it. And he was like, I came to Cincinnati and I was pounding the ball. And then I got later in my career and all these analytic guys tell me, well, if you start doing this with my swing, and he's like, dude, I've been hitting 40 home runs almost every year for the last 5 or 6 years. How are you going to tell me how to change my swing? And she's like, but because in this organization, I decided to try to switch things up. And guess what happened? Strikeouts went up, home runs came down just a little bit. And then he went back to just doing what he does. See the ball, hit the ball, hit it to the river. And then we traded him to Washington.
We traded all the good players from the early 2000s to Washington, basically. I remember that trade. It's like, oh, okay, they're all leaving. All right, well, we don't need to go into that. We don't need more sadness. But, I mean, yeah, Marte, I don't understand how the guy doesn't know how to play baseball. Our outfield situation, hopefully Reese Hines helps. I mean, him and Will Benson are the two biggest guys I'm cheering for on this team. As far as like, they're kind of at the end of their shot. Yeah. They could be journeymen for, the next 5-10 years up and down in the minors, cups of coffee here and there in the majors. But if they don't figure it out this season, their real major league career opportunities gone. And I mean, they're both guys you want to cheer for. They seem very down to earth, very genuine. They're exciting when they make good things happen. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the best story because I think Sal Stewart's extremely exciting to watch play. We all know
super
how
talented.
Oh yeah, everyone knows how I feel about Ellie De La Cruz, so I don't need to go into that. And then everybody else, I think we know who they are on that team. Spencer Steer is going to be up and down, be really consistent for a month, really bad for a while. Matt McClain can't hit. It just is what it is. His defense even doesn't look great so far this season. It's been okay. But I don't know if Matt McClain knows how to play baseball either. So we'll see.
I think he's better in the leadoff position than in second. And TJ Friedel has been a complete dud.
That guy. Don't even start on that guy. He's about to be DFA'd if he doesn't figure this crap out. Like, he's been that bad. Like, you have a guy that can play center field and has been playing really well. So, TJ, I like you, and I've been a big fan of yours, a proponent of yours. I don't know. You just don't know how to play baseball anymore either, and hopefully you figure it out. It's so early in the season. But
he had 3 hits over the first 3 series.
It's bad. I get it. Baseball's hard.
Dane Myers is actually another one of those guys that I'm starting to cheer for. I think he's been a bright spot. And like you said, you need a guy to play center field. He's covering center field pretty well when he's getting out there.
He laid out a couple games ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he took some home run.
He looks like a guy who can play ball. So, I mean, let people who can play ball play ball. And I get it. It's 162, games that they're going through or whatever here. And, Terry's going to run the team the way he wants to run the team. But at the same time, you got to play the guys who are hot. That's the way you do well in major leagues. People say, you don't know what to talk about. You never played or coached at that level. Blah. Okay, cool, fine. From my perspective, watching a lot of baseball for years, it's a long season. Play the people when they're hot. And when they're not, sit them on the bench. Give them a chance every couple of days to see if they can break out of their slump. But don't keep playing a guy night after night just because you think he might figure it out. That's dumb.
Casey, I have a question for you.
Answer,
Yes. So I saw a thing the other day. Again, I can't cite my source because, it's late in the night. But they said that Tito believes that Sal Stewart's best position because of him slimming down and working on his defense is actually second base. How do you feel about that?
I think that's pretty legit. having played a lot of second base in my day, and I feel like that's one of the reasons the question was aimed at me, it's the easiest infield position by far. It is absolutely the easiest infield position, even in a league with a lot of lefties. It's a short throw. You don't have to make as many, especially with Ellie De La Cruz at shortstop. You don't have to cover as much ground. You have a very small footprint. You're not having to pick balls out of the dirt very often like a first baseman. As long as you know how to turn a double play, which it's easier turning a double play from second base anyway than it is from shortstop as far as being the turn guy. Yeah, I think it's not a bad assessment. And the fact that McLean is, I think, going to turn out to be a dud and end up back in AAA in about 3 to 4 weeks, especially if Stewart plays well at second base, because you have how many first basemen on the roster?
It's a couple. You have a few.
And you had a Gold Glove finalist is playing left field. A first base Gold Glove finalist is playing every other day or whatever at left field, when you could literally put him right back on at first base. His bat is not going to change at all. He'll be consistent then inconsistent. So, yeah, if Stewart can play third base, great. Or not third base, second base, great. And then you can keep up the hitter with no defense at third base or the defense that can't hit at third base. Pick one. You get one or the other, because Suarez is a terrible defensive third baseman, and Ke'Bryan Hayes doesn't even know he's at bat. Could we do like they used to do in Knot Hole, and you just have, the DH actually hits for someone? It's like the old style rule instead of the new rule where the DH is its own position, and we can just have him hit for Ke'Bryan Hayes. We'll let a pitcher hit instead of Ke'Bryan Hayes at this point.
Not a bad assessment. I miss pitchers raking, by the way. Watching a pitcher rake. I mean, the only one we get now is Shohei, which he's generational at this point. But, yeah.
Right. Shout out Michael Lorenzen. Shout out Micah Owings. Guys who used to just, hit bombs.
Bronson.
Yeah, Bronson hit a couple, yeah. Well, the argument
who was that? There was another one from that team that hit home runs. It was like 07. I can't remember his name. It was before Owings did it.
Oh, crap. I don't know. I can't think of who it was.
God,
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of who it was. Yeah, there's definitely. But I mean, when they talk about Michael Lorenzen, he would never be able to play. And this is something I want to bring to you, Zach and Josh. Give me your thoughts. When they say, no, this guy's never played center field at the major league level. He couldn't play center field. Maybe he couldn't hit consistently every day. But I feel if you were a starting center fielder for a Cal State Fullerton, you probably could have figured out center field defensively in the majors.
Yeah, I would say you should be able to at least be competent. Being good is another thing. But, I mean, you should be able to at least go out there and you don't have to lay out very often, but you can go out there and you can catch a fly ball. You can throw it back. I think that's really the big thing. Do you have the arm to throw it back to second, third base if you have to?
And it's something that I don't – maybe it's because I played utility, and I was not a great baseball player. I was average at best on a good day. So I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm great. But when they're like, this guy's never played first base before, he has no idea what he's doing. You catch the ball, you block the ball. No matter what position it's at, you catch the ball, you throw the ball, you block the ball.
Yeah.
And you know what your assignment is. It's not that hard to figure out. So when they're like, this major league guy, it's so impressive the fact that after a whole offseason of practicing this one position, he's learned it. I'm like, they used to just throw people at first base, third base in the middle of the game. Like, you ever played third base? No. Good luck. I don't get it.
Don't make it more complicated than it has to be.
Yeah, it's really not. I don't know. I feel like we talked more about baseball than we have about football in this episode.
We're about
to eclipse we're about to eclipse the 30-minute mark, and definitely 17, 18 minutes of this has definitely been about baseball.
I think
You're
that's
welcome,
okay.
America.
You're welcome. Talking baseball is who we are today.
Yes. Sal Stewart.
Don't sue us.
Don't sue us. Is Terry Cashman still alive?
I don't know, but Talking Baseball still exists.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's the guy who sang the song. Yeah, I don't know if you are still alive, good for you, Terry Cashman. Also, please don't sue us.
I don't have any money.
Yeah, we don't
I
have
just
money
did my
for that.
taxes.
That's not in the budget. Everybody take off your business stuff right now. All right. You guys got anything else you want to talk about, or are we ready to go into closing thoughts here?
No?
Yeah, I think we're all kind of off season out here at this point. Like we want football things to talk about.
Sucks as I'll watch the draft next week. I'll be camping with church, Kristen, couples camp. So I won't even get to see it until I get back on Sunday.
Hey, we get to look at all the rounds at once instead of being miserable for 3 days like the rest of us will probably be because I'm going to make one pick.
I'll just look and see.
They still got 12 picks.
Well, see, I'm going to just look and see who they drafted and say, God, those guys are so stupid. Let's just fire them all now. Because that's what
that's basically all you're going to do. And see, I used to actually sit there and watch the first round and second round. I check back and see if the Bengals are up. I really don't care that much. And actually, I forgot about it last year, I think.
Yeah.
Well, at least they'll be in the first hour this year.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, to me, it's not exciting. It should literally have to be instant, like the 4th through 7th round. Just let's get it done quick. Nobody cares. Let's just move it on. Move it on.
Non-Bengals topic before we go into closing thoughts.
Oh.
But it's draft related. Mendoza opted out of attending the draft. He's like the foreseeable, without a doubt, he's going to be the number 1 draft pick. And he opted out of doing the draft. That is, me personally, it feels like a Eli Manning situation where he's like, I don't really want any of that stuff with Vegas. No thanks. I'm going to take it and hope that there's a trade worked out between my agents. And then, I ended up in a better city, in a better situation.
Yeah, I always find it interesting when it's the player city fit just don't seem to mesh.
No.
But the team's like, no, we really love this guy. And it's like, I don't think he's got the right personality. I mean, I don't know what school exactly a person that's going to end up playing in Las Vegas comes from, but it's going to be a rougher place.
Michigan's pretty up there right now.
Michigan seems legit. That seems like a legit one. The U from the 90s, they could have fed a lot of people to Las Vegas. 80s and early 90s, yeah.
Yeah. The 2.0 in the early 2000s. Trying to think of who else. I don't feel like any of the SC guys really fit that mold. Could probably throw maybe a couple, maybe the 03 Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah,
like Maurice Clarett.
I don't know why, but South Carolina, that school makes me think they could have people that would go there.
Bro, they play Sandstorm at their games. They definitely could go to Vegas.
No, I'm just saying it's a rougher group. They may not know how to play football well together, but it's usually a rough group.
Shout out to JoJo.
Whoop.
He's a Gamecock.
All right. So, Josh, what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Well, I'm excited to see who they pick. I don't think that there are very many ways they can mess this up.
Yeah.
I'll probably find a way. I got to find some wood to knock on. I don't have any around here.
Guitar behind you. There we go.
Yeah, hopefully. Hope to God they don't mess it up. They always find a way. Don't John Ross this. Do it right. We don't need another project. We need somebody that can come in and potentially start day one. Please just don't let us down again. If you do, I'm not going to say I'm not going to be a fan. I'm just not going to like it.
Just not gonna be happy about it.
I'm going to throw a tantrum, and I'm going to say I'm not going to watch anything else until the first game of the season.
And then we'll all be there watching. Yep, that's how we're in an abusive relationship with the Bengals. That's the best way to put it. Cincinnati sports in general, I guess I should say.
We all have Bengal Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's a love-hate relationship. We love them. They all hate us for whatever reason.
Yes. All right, Bernsey.
All right. Well, as always, if I can find my button in time, probably won't because, I'm working off 2019 technology. But you can like, follow, subscribe, share, dodge, dip, dive, duck, dodge, and yeah, you get the point.
Yeah.
All of our social media platforms. You can find us at talking_Bengals, talkingbengals.com. Our Etsy store, you can go there. W Energy promo code if you need a little pick me up. TBCFB10, 10% off there. Other than that, I think the Bengals could probably go something like Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate, both wide receivers on the high end, and just completely blow us up since we want to keep talking about John Ross. But, there's those kinds of things. But I'm going to stay in the positive experiences. I really do believe that it's going to be a Reuben Bain, Sonny Styles, or Caleb Downs. I think those are the three high-end picks that are most likely going to happen. And that's really what it is. We've got, 10 days? 10 days to draft day now? So let's get there. Who day?
Yeah, let's get there and not be disappointed, as you all have echoed. My final thoughts, I'm just hoping we're not going to have to vent about the draft for the next 3 months like we did last season. I'm hoping we have other topics to talk about, maybe excitement, maybe starting to take that cautious optimism and turn it into real optimism, even though I feel like I can't be optimistic because I'm always fooled when I am. I'm just going to pick the Bengals to go 0-17. And then I can't be anything but happy at that point because they're not going to go 0-17, I don't think.
No, I think they'll probably get a tie in there somewhere. 16-1.
Do you remember the Afro Man commercial when the Browns tied their first game after going 0-16?
No.
Oh, it was funny. It was a song that from our youth, but they changed the lyrics to "Because We Just Tied." So,
shout out to Afro Man sticking it to the man. By the way,
yeah,
do your thing, America, freedom of speech and whatnot. I like it. Anyways, we're going to close on that one. Afro Man, America, and
Houday. Again, 2019 technology. So here we go. We're going to try this.
Freeze frame.
Freeze.
Freeze.